Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning. Okay, how's everybody doing this morning? Awesome, good deal. Let's go ahead and get started with our daily message from the Qur'an. And I did make a lot of headway in 2nd Chronicles, filling out the spreadsheet and such. I figured out the method to the madness, okay? We may or may not have time to go over them right away, as in this morning, but let's at least go ahead and get our daily message to motivate us and get us ready. And I might come on here a little bit later during lunch to present the next section to you guys. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Alright, I'm switching it up here today. Put my pinky on the left-hand side here of Surah 24, line 12. Come here. Out to the critters, as always. Stomping on everything. At least we have some quiet this morning. Alright, Surah 24, line 12. And Surah 24 is An-Nur. An-Nur, which is the light. The light. And line 12 reads, "Why did not the believers, men and women, when ye heard of the affair, put the best construction on it in their own minds and say, this charge is an obvious lie." Put the best construction on it in their own minds. Okay, so this is actually a positive message here. So it's saying, why did not the believers claim the construction was a lie, or the instruction, or the message that we've been discussing the last few days? We might have to read a little extra context for this one, just because the grammar is grammaring. Sounds a little bit unusual. We'll go ahead and break it down. Oh, here we go. Good morning. Yes. Good morning. And of course, this event here is in reference to another event. It's not exactly what we were talking about, but let's go ahead and just read a little bit, see what we can pull. In their own minds and say, lie. Okay, so something just right off the bat that jumps out. Why did not the believers, both men and women, put their own construction on this affair and charge it as an obvious lie? Because we talked about what it means to be a believer, and it means to transmute to truth, right? Or to tell truth, or to be able to perceive or tell truth. Okay, that is what a believer is. It has to do with truth. So for them to call out a lie, it seems outside of their characteristics as a believer. It says, why did they not bring 4 witnesses to prove it? When they have not brought the witnesses, such men in the sight of Allah stand forth themselves as liars. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you in this world and in the hereafter, a grievous penalty would have seized you, in that ye rushed guiltily into this affair. Okay, so it's saying because you do not rush to jump to own conclusions and such, then you're given a gift. If you had done so, right, jump to conclusions, caused panic, quoted as a lie, or versus compared to what we were talking about, then there would have been a penalty for that. So the believers stood strong and steadfast in the message that's been given, okay? Let's see. Okay. Just taking a second here. Okay. And as I suspected, because we are using the word affair in this message, it's actually in reference to being the witness of an affair, that type of thing. Okay, so it's basically saying being caught in a lie. If you're caught in a circumstance, caught in a lie, like an affair of adultery or something like that, I don't know if I've used that word, but that's what this is referencing. It's saying it's best to come forward with honesty. With honesty. So dealing with honesty with all things. All things. Okay. So as a believer, we always come forth with honesty. And there's actually a quote that I'll preface when we talk about First Chronicles here. It talks about the fact that honesty is rarely bohemian. It's something with Adin, something from Adin. Let's see if I can just pull it up real quick because it's quite relevant. And if it will let me, she says, neither in life nor art is honesty bohemian. So what this means is it's not popular, it's not trendy, it's not edgy to go ahead and be the honest one, to be the truth teller, to be the believer. And bohemian, I guess, in this context and in the definition of bohemian is to be artistic or unconventional. So it's kind of like, trendy, something like that. So it's not popular, it's not trendy to be the honest individual, to be the believer, to tell it straight how it is. And I will say, when I am the most honest with you guys, and when I am the most vulnerable as I can get, it's not, unconventional, I guess, but it's not trendy. It's very, just cut and dry. It is what it is. When I'm the most honest. So it's not as embellished or artistic as maybe you guys would like some of my responses, even though I try to keep these things interesting and informative and give you new pieces of information. When I'm really honest about a particular subject and a particular way of doing things, it's going to be just that. It's not going to be, a variation of something I created. It's going to be things that have stood the test of time and that have, revolutionized a people when it comes to connecting with God. So I will be very honest with you about how things are. And it's hardly popular. It's hardly the popular option or the trendy option. It definitely is just the honest way. So that's great. I'm going to put that as my title, The Honest Way. The Honest Way. And so we will talk a little bit about that quote further when we get to it today. Speaking of honesty, the time I have this morning, 8:30, I could probably get into 2nd Chronicles, but I don't like to be rushed. Especially today. I think what I might do is make a phone call and come on here a little bit later when I have a more full block of time, and I'll discuss 1st Chronicles with you. Okay. The honest way. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Now that we understand the context, right? Being forthcoming, when somebody is caught in a lie, don't try to defend them. Don't try to back them up, in a sense, if it is just an obvious lie, right? We are, as believers, we're truth tellers. We'll tell you how it is, always to be on the right side of the Lord and to, be a witness to what is true. That's simple. I like that as well. Be a witness to what is true. Be a witness to what is true. And that this can go with all things, right? All things that we see on the interwebs, right? Be a witness to what is true. Anything that is good, true. Go ahead and focus on those things. Pure. That was something in, I think, the letters, the epistles. Whatever is pure, whatever is good, focus on those things, right? Be a witness to what is true. All right. Goodbye, you guys. I'm going to let you breathe for just a little bit, just a few hours here, and I'll be back to discuss the good deal in First Chronicles a bit later. But thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.